Sorry, I'm pressing it.
Once again, you already know what it is, and you already know where you have reached the #1 collaborative professional wrestling podcast anywhere in the world. Immediately to your right, my left, is the one and only Conrad Cushman, representing Everything Pro Wrestling, EPW, EPW, EPW. And yours truly, the man talking to you right now, is Sean Hubbard, representing HW Weekly Combat Sports, and collectively we are Clash of the Podcast. A whole lot to get to right here and now. Some people happy with SummerSlam. Some people kind of like mid about SummerSlam. Some people didn't like it. Conrad and I have our opinions. We're ready to share them with you. We actually held off on collaborating before the show because we wanted both of our unadulterated opinions. So we're ready to rock and roll, and you're going to see everything reactively in real time. So with that being said, very excited to rock with you. The chat's here, Conrad's here, I'm here. There's only one thing left to say, and I'm going to say it right here and now. Conrad, my brother from another mother, please do me one favor and drop that thing.
Well. We are back once again for episode 205 of The Clash. Consecutive. Nothing missed. Maybe a date move, maybe a time move, but consecutively. That's more than 83 weeks. That's more than a year at this point. We are crushing it. So I hope you guys appreciate it. And if you want to show your appreciation, there's many different ways you guys can do that. My favorite way, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Sean's channel. You can catch us over there. We did a wonderful preview and predictions for SummerSlam. So if you wanted to know how we felt beforehand, you had to be subscribed to Sean's channel to know that. So that's the free way to do it. There's even cooler ways to do it. We both have merch stores. Sean has a Threadless store where you guys can go get yourself some pretty cool merch that he's got up here that he has created for you. It goes great with your Air Force Ones, your Jordans, whatever you like to wear. You can rock this with a lot of different things.
Yes,
that's how I'm feeling with it. We have a store also over on TeePublic. We got some good stuff here. Some newer comic book shirts. We got some hip-hop style shirts. Look, this is BJ, a satisfied customer right here. Got himself a mug. Probably takes that when he teaches classes. The professor. He's living it up right here. Come on.
Everybody loves BJ. That's his Twitter name. Relax.
That is what we are holding down. That's what we are doing over here, man. Let's get into our shout outs, shall we?
Sure.
Clown in the house. What is good? He said, afternoon, everyone. What a weekend in wrestling. Avery Styles had an impressive showing, and Joseph Sawyer, the man formerly known as Joe Gacy, debuted and attacked Atticus Cougar, setting up their homecoming match. Did anything else happen? Oh, yeah, there was a lot. I also liked Avery Styles having his first face-to-face with Brody Lee Jr.
Shout out to Cleasy, 1-3Z, 4-2Z in the building.
Could be seeing some big stuff here. We got Miracle in the house.
I'm searching for a miracle. Believe the impossible. What up, my guy?
He said, welcome to my favorite podcast tag team, Conrad and Sean. As always, looking forward to discussing some wrestling with you in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt. He goes on to say, congrats to Chelsea Green, I guess. She's been getting her flowers on social media by fans and her peers, but let's be honest, Chelsea was only chosen because this is an interim title win, and it does not count. We're going to talk about that because I have to give flowers to Sean a little bit here. Sean has been pressing me for weeks for us to have a smidge of a segment to talk about Chelsea Green, and I've been at least trying to convince, let's push back, let's hold. I think today is the day where I'm going to let Sean just have his moment in the sun when it comes to Chelsea Green. Ray Thompson, happy Monday, guys. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Ray, I hope you had a great weekend.
Beautiful family, Ray.
No doubt. He said he thought SummerSlam was a really good show, but I got to say I enjoyed last year's more.
Understood.
Okay. And Miracle said, with that being said, I like the show as a whole. Solo running it back was great. Quills.
Quilly.
He said, "What up to Conrad and Sean chat? Your boy Sir Quills is back again. Enjoy my two favorite bros, CJ Hub, for episode 205 of the best wrestling podcast out today, Clash of the By God podcast. Hashtag EPW, hashtag HWW." And he also goes on to say, SummerSlam 2026 was mid, okay at best, with some good moments at times. Once again, short matches but long ad breaks, but it was better than WrestleMania.
Yes, it was. I think that's a really solid assessment by Sir Quills.
Yeah. And they're giving props out to some of their favorite performers of the night. We got Vinny in the house.
The only Vinny we like.
He said, "Happy Monday. This weekend proved SummerSlam should just be one night. God bless and Jesus loves y'all."
Jesus loves you too, brother.
Matt Lopez in the house.
And Leezy Fo Sheezy. Hi, good evening, everyone. Hope you had a good weekend. Let's kick this week off right with the two aces of our pro wrestling community. Matt, we appreciate you, my guy. And for the record, Matt's tag on social media is MATTLOPEZ 6696.
Thank you, good sir. Actually, it might be 66 now. I think that other account was compromised.
Okay, gotcha.
So, yeah, there you go, Matt. Let's see. Ooh, I ain't getting into that about the attendance.
I want to. I think Quills brings up a good point.
T-Ferg said, "What's good, gentlemen? Hope everyone had a good, I'm assuming, day there. Didn't watch SummerSlam, but I hear night one was not that good and night two was better. I think it was the same thing said about Mania." Right there. Right there. More time for him, Sean. Right where? Right there. And then right there. He said,
"Hey, what up?
Who won last week? That was good. What is good? XG Dub in the house.
What up?
What up? I appreciate you telling people to refresh. Doug in the house. He said, "Another Monday, another clash. Conrad, Sean, chat, teach me." Hopefully everyone enjoyed summer advertisement slam.
There you go. That's what it was.
Sponsored by Kinko's. Make a copy.
You're sitting up here ruining Chad Gable's celebration with the mug root beer guy. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. It
was cringe. It was cringe. It was really cringe.
I have a way that I think they could have saved that segment because I thought something was happening, but I'll tell you when we get to that one. Mm-hmm. Shout out to AEW Fan Hub. They have their podcast tomorrow. A wonderful, wonderful edition of Ignition, fresh and hot out the kitchen. They talk AEW. So if you guys go over to their YouTube channel live Tuesdays, 8:45, go over there, man. Check them out.
It's the remix to Ignition, hot and fresh out the kitchen.
Yes, it is.
We only give that one line because we don't want people to think we advocate bad activities. We like the music. That's about it.
They say a hog tie, people.
We like the music. We like the music, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kels. Stupid. He said, well, it is I, the quintessential stud muffin, Joel Gertner. Jocelyn said, "Dang it, it's after 6. I love my gossip. I'll be back in a sec." Okay.
There you go, Jocelyn. Appreciate you, JJ.
Doug, almost 4 years. Yes, we're getting close. Yeah, actually, no, we did start at SummerSlam 2022. Yeah,
yep, we're rolling, man. SummerSlam 2022 was a little later in the month, so that's what it is. We're coming up on it.
Yep. Let's see. I'm just looking if there's anyone new. Deanna. Hey guys, SummerSlam was an A show both nights, so she enjoyed the show.
Yeah, and I appreciate you, but I do not agree. But I appreciate you.
Thank you for putting that in. We got McKinney back in the house. Once again, on a Monday, I'm here to let y'all know that seeing someone smile will in turn make you smile first. It's Clash of the Podcast with the Fire Live Chat and our host CJ and Hubs. Let's go. Appreciate you.
DEMONDMCKINNEY 7066. Really, really inspirational brother, man. We appreciate you. He goes on to say, if you could smash both SummerSlam nights into one night and delete the commercial, SummerSlam was pretty good. I love that assessment right there. That's a very good point.
Yeah, it's all good. All good. And Fan Hub did apologize for misspelling your name. So
no apology needed, AEW Fan Hub. Just make sure you bring me on your show one day. I'd love to chop it up with you, my G.
I think all you gotta do is go into that chat and
I'm trying to get on the Discord train. I'm having some difficulties.
That's all right, man. It's all right. Connor, what's good, man? Appreciate you.
We appreciate you, man.
Look at Cactus is in here. Overstretched with his Chipotle. Good afternoon, everyone.
There
You enjoy. I hope when you're eating, you hear the bah, 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 bah. Better be a bowl too. Better see some green in there, Cactus.
That's right.
And he said, "Happy Monday. Appreciate you, man."
Thank you, man.
Pay-per-views, PLEs will never be the same as it was from 85 to 2024. Man, leave the memories alone.
By the way, that's the only Vinny we like.
Also, I'm tired of the ad patches on wrestling gear. It's so cringe and commercialized.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely ways to do things. All right, Sean, let's jump right into this head first, man. And we're going to be talking about Bossman, some wrestling news and things like that. So stick around.
That's what she said, by the way.
I'm diving in. All right, let me stop singing here. All right, we got night one. Me and Sean are on one today. We got night one of SummerSlam. Like I said, we broke it down for you. Sean, I don't know where to start with this, man.
Let's just start from the beginning, man. Let's go in chronological order, bro.
The opening contest was the Queen of the Ring winner getting her title shot at the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Has not been defended since we last talked about it at WrestleMania. ESPN put it up. 100 days for no title defense is ridiculous, in my opinion. Ridiculous.
I mean, you could have snuck a title shot in for somebody on Raw or anything. It's lazy. It's just lazy.
They have house show. I think they had a house show in between. You couldn't do a house show title defense even? Nothing. I just shake my head at it. Yeah. But we were here. Some may argue, though, Sean, this was match of the night for night one.
I mean, I think it was match of the night for night one, my brother.
People were enjoying it. Liv Morgan and Io Sky did battle. Some way, somehow, with the help of her teammates, Liv Morgan showed you that she's trouble. That's her. Yeah, she gets the win to retain. I don't know, where does Io go from here? Liv, I mean, is she said she's not going to defend for the next 100 days too, probably because she saw people complaining.
I mean, look, you have an opportunity now to build up Raquel Rodriguez. I know you're like, where are you going with this, Sean? We're talking about Io Sky. Well, that's where I'm going. I mean, we need to start getting some people in there that have an opportunity to win the Intercontinental Championship. We got to focus a little bit more on the Women's United States Championship. I think we need to add some star power. Big shout out to Becky Lynch, who made the Intercontinental Championship very relevant. Shout out to AJ Lee for a short time as well. I don't think that Sol Ruca did a great job with the title. Salute to her. That's not her fault. I don't think she was booked very well. Let's see how Raquel Rodriguez does. But to let the chickens come home to roost to the point you were talking about where does Io go from here, I think Intercontinental Championship would be perfectly fine. I think you could put her in a position to really reestablish that title. Not saying that Raquel Rodriguez can't, but we're really going to have to see what she's made of with gold around her waist. I think her winning that title was deserved. She's put in a lot of work. But Io is always going to be in the mix because Io, in my opinion, is the best female wrestler belt to belt in the entire world.
Respect. You could always find a way to get back to Io, too. I think it's easier to do that. Right. What up, Delay Gratz? He said, Fed Radio told me this is the greatest show ever. What do y'all say? We'll go through it, man. We'll talk.
Delay Gratz, appreciate you. And by the way, Conrad, I do want to reiterate my point. I think Io Sky is the best professional wrestler that's a female in the world. I mean, Io Sky number one, Mercedes Moné number two. I just want to be clear. I'm not talking about just WWE. Io Sky has risen to the top of my list because she is absolutely amazing. I mean, Liv Morgan won that match, but Liv Morgan can't hold a candle to Io Sky as it relates to bell-to-bell action. Io Sky is absolutely amazing. And I think she can do anything she wants.
Interesting. Delay Grant saying he thought the main event was the best match. Interesting. No Julia or Vaquer on SummerSlam. No, Julia missed out on the ladder match for night 2, and Stephanie Vaquer is still injured as far as I know. I have not heard or thought of anything dealing with it.
I mean, get well soon to Stephanie Vaquer, but if I was Julia, I would be counting down the days until my contract expires. I mean, she is totally like being underutilized and disrespected for the things she's accomplished all over the world. I've said it before and I'll say it again, Conrad. I won't go too deep into it because we have a lot to get to tonight. The grass is not always greener. I know that we all believe that WWE is the holy grail of professional wrestling. What up, MJB? But look at Julia. Look at what she's become. Now and at this point, can we honestly say with a straight face that she's fortunate that she won the United States Championship? At this point, we should be thrilled that she got that title, because other than that, I mean, we're talking about the dumps, and it's not her fault. I want to make sure people understand this, Conrad. And look at my face. I'm not joking. Julia is one of the best professional wrestlers in the world. She's one of the best female competitors on the planet, and she can't even win a qualifying match. It's ridiculous.
I do not understand what they are doing. It felt like with her and Vaquer, even when it was on NXT, there was a shift really quick of like Stephanie Vaquer is the focus.
Yes.
And they went through.
Which is fine. Stephanie's fantastic, but that doesn't mean you have to deviate from Julia like completely.
They could have been feuding with each other is what I was thinking, but they didn't go that route. They moved on, and so shall we. Liv Morgan wins. This match, I'm going to hand the sleeper match over to. Maybe that's because I knew more about the next match that came up, but I'm giving this match the sleeper match of night one. Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, and Jacob Fatu versus Royce Keys, LA Knight, and Solo Sikoa. Props to all of them for going out there and just delivering. Like, whatever it was, whatever their little 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever the moment was that was dedicated to them, they did good. And I think the person who stole a lot of the shine, Solo Sikoa. I think Solo Sikoa, they got something here. I don't know how silly it's going to get. I don't know where he goes from here, but it could be part of his character, and you have to figure out how to hone that and get into that. But, Sean, you're the expert in this one. So what say you? What did you think of this matchup? I'm interested for this.
We all know Jey Uso is the best wrestler on the planet, right? So, no, as a fan, as someone who has driven and created the Jey Uso / Usos bandwagon, I was not happy to see the yeeting be mocked. Okay? It was, you're doing, first of all, you're doing it the opposite way. It's like, it's this. It's opposite from you.
It took him long enough to even play it for Solo. He got it once he had it.
You're going to be surprised by what I'm about to say. I thought it was great. As an objective fan, I thought it was fantastic. I don't think anybody's done that in the time that Jey Uso has been doing his thing. I don't think anybody has run it back on Jey Uso. I don't think that's ever happened.
It works too because it's his brother and it's his little brother. So you know how much, like, I'm an older brother. That little brother stuff grinds your gears to no end. Like, it's just a little thing. I don't know what it is. Like, it irks you. It makes you so mad that they do that, and it's like they're copying you or they mock you, and you're just like, I was like, this works. It works.
It was good, and I really like. I picked the Bloodline to win this match. But you know what? I'm happy to be wrong. Y'all, you, Conrad, and the chat knows how much I love the Bloodline. Like, I love the Bloodline as much as I love the Mega Powers. Like, I'm talking about the Bloodline is like my favorite group. I'm really, really happy that LA Knight, Royce Keys, and Solo Sikoa won this match. It really sends them on a trajectory to do something special, especially Solo and LA Knight. I'm still not a believer about Royce Keys. Royce Keys, to me, still comes across as an afterthought. Go ahead.
He did take, I was going to just say, I got to give him his props. He did take a nasty spill over when they did that spine buster spot over the guardrail.
Yeah, when it's icy outside, I slip and fall going down my driveway. Who cares? At the end of the day, it doesn't make a difference. Okay, it doesn't make a difference. All right.
Props for taking a bump.
Royce Keys was not involved in the match in the final part of the match. Solo hit the defining blow. LA Knight got the pin. That's all that matters. Royce Keys. Nobody cares about Royce Keys. Royce Keys made his decision. Don't let me start running on that again. Let's focus on the good parts of this match. LA Knight is right back, in my opinion, in Money in the Bank.
Conversations.
Conversation. Solo Sikoa has now put himself in the Money in the Bank conversation. I will say this, though. And it bothers me. And I'm willing to admit, unless something crazy happens starting tonight, and then all of a sudden, I think the Jey Uso run is officially. I know I've been kind of holding on to, I think that I'm fortunate that he won the title at WrestleMania last year. I think that he deserved to win the title at WrestleMania last year. But him being in the championship picture, I think it's over. I'm sorry to say that because I do respect the man. I think Jimmy Uso being in a championship picture is over because I respect the man. It bothers me, Conrad. It bothers me. But at the same time, I got to say this, though. I understand now. And I know that takes a lot for me to admit. Like, the Usos are now officially, to me, like, it's just tag team, nothing else. Like, because to me, you know what made the biggest difference, Conrad Cushman, to me during that match? It was before the match even started. You think I know? You know what I'm going to talk about?
The entrances.
The entrances. Jacob Fatu got top billing.
I'm not gonna lie, that mask looked good, and he came out. You could tell he's been working out all week. He was slimmed down. He was ready to go.
Yeah, but listen, I'm saying something very important here because to me, I look at idiosyncrasies and I look at little details like that very closely. One thing that made me realize that Jey Uso was on his way to superstardom was, I believe it was Crown Jewel, or forgive me if I don't, one of the Saudi pay-per-views before last year's Survivor Series, or before maybe 2 years ago Survivor Series, excuse me, when Jey Uso had just lost the Intercontinental Championship and just reunited with his brother and Roman, and they had a 6-man tag against the MFTs. And Jey Uso came out last for that match. And I hit you up, and I think Derek was with you. And I was like, yo, my boy got top billing. And not long after that, Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble. He won WrestleMania. It means something, guys, when somebody gets top billing. Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso did not get top billing. So I'm going to wrap this up by saying I think Jey Uso could eventually get that Grand Slam with the United States Championship. I hope so, just for once again, because resumes count. I hope that Jimmy Uso gets a title because resumes count. That championship run for Jey is over. Now, focusing on the future. Royce Keys, I'm still not a believer. You'll have to prove me wrong. LA Knight, right back in the Money in the Bank conversation. Solo Sikoa, all I can say is this. WWE, don't screw it up.
And I think Jacob, too. I think Jacob's right on the cut. You got to figure out a way to elevate him. One or two things, and he's right back in that mix, too. You have something here.
I do have a prediction for tonight. Maybe not tonight per se, but like a Raw or something, free television going down the line. I do believe that we are seeing something that we probably didn't expect to see. And I know I'm reaching, Conrad, and this is a little bit of an exclusive just for you as well. Could you see, I'm going to throw it at you in the form of a question. Because Roman is so popular, and because of Roman's very humble speech after SummerSlam went off the air last night with Redmond, could you see a Jacob and Uso defection? Could you see Roman Reigns excommunicated from the bloodline? That's the first thing that popped into my head last night. Because now, I hope you're bearing with me, Conrad, because I believe the Jey Uso singles championship run is over with for good. Because I think they're never really going to give Jimmy the one championship around his waist that he deserves, whether it be Intercontinental or United States. And because Jacob Fatu is absolutely fantastic, my thing is this. Roman's a babyface. The Usos and Jacob don't really have as much steam as they used to have as babyfaces. Why not have them turn their back on Roman?
You could, but I have another theory that leads into this once we get to the main event, too. There's another person who wants to join. And I'm gonna throw a question back at you. I'm gonna answer a question with a question.
I hope all my stuff. I hope all my stuff that I just said makes a little bit of sense.
100% to me, at least. But that's chat. Bear with us if you're not getting it. Does Zilla Fat 2 take the spot that Solo was going to have in that group now? I guess I'm asking you, are we at a point where we need to shift this thing? Because at first they were all baby faces and we're like, okay, we're getting baby face bloodline. Do you instead go heel bloodline? You can either push Roman back with who's going to be coming up to him in the future, or you could make the choice that you said. Let's turn on Roman and make this a new type of thing, and then we can run with this and we'll figure it out from here. And then you can have them reunite again later.
Yeah, because Zilla Fatu, we have to take it. First of all, shout out to you for bringing up Zilla Fatu.
Actually, MJB will give credit.
Shout out to MJB in the place to be. I appreciate you, brother. Shout out to MJB and you, Conrad, for bringing that up. And this is why we're only in the 5th inning of the bloodline, by the way, what we're talking about right now. This thing is far from over. Conrad, I'm going to be very transparent with you, my brother. I love this. It's just me. Oops, I love it. But even me, even Sean Hubbard, HW Weekly, in case you forgot, Clash of the Podcast, it's just me, Oos. Even me, chat, don't lose your minds. Don't think this is a mirage. Don't think you're losing it. Jay, Jimmy, and Jacob need to turn heel. As a matter of fact, I'm almost
Sean, saying I think they are heel.
Are they? I don't know if they are. Are they?
LA Knight's getting cheered. They're big. Solo.
No. I'm not trying to cut you off, my brother. They're still getting cheered.
I know
it's. What I'm saying, Conrad, and I'm gonna let you have the floor. The Usos and Jacob need to do something. They need to really, really do something. They need to hurt somebody. That's what I'm talking about.
They have to put that heel stamp on it, but yes. I feel like they are heels, though. Like the way that they were the heels last night. If you were like, who are the heels, who are the babyface? I'm like, I'm leaning more towards the bloodline guys are the heels right now.
Agreed.
But you're in this funky, weird spot. And I think tonight's Raw should showcase where are we going and where are we heading with this. I think you brought up a very good point before, though, with you have options in how you want to move here. It's just how are you going to play chess? When can you bring Zilla in? What do you want to do with Solo? Are you sure you don't want Solo back in the group? Because you remember my plan. This was months ago. I said Solo's going to be back with them. They're going to get the original band back together. But
I just, I'm disappointed in advance, Conrad Bushman.
Can't hear Sean. Okay. Looks like better, worse?
About the same. I'm hoping that it smooths out a little bit, my brother. Oh, looks like we both froze.
Sounds a little choppy on my end. Yeah, it says y'all froze.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was just me. I thought it was just me, Oos.
Frozen stream. Sean's internet got cut. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It might be a StreamYard thing because I don't see any issues on either of our end because I could see everything too for us guys behind the scenes. So we're back. It is what it is. Are we good? Can we put a pin in that one?
Yeah, turn the Usos and Jacob heel. Like let's just beat Roman up real bad. Maybe Solo and Roman can be cool again.
Could be that too. You could split them up, and then, like I said, the big reunited stuff happens later again.
Yep.
Moving on to Nick Aldis, who gave up his GM spot for this match to face the Ring General, sponsored by the General's Insurance as well, apparently. Gunther. And they went in there and they had themselves a little Donnybrook. they paid for Oasis for Nick Aldis to come out to. That was very nice. I'm pretty sure if I could bet dollars to donuts, I don't know why people say that, but I will say that Nick Aldis' theme will not be that when you go back and watch on the replay. But if you've watched as long as me and Sean have, I think we knew already what Nick Aldis was going to do when he came in there. So maybe I should have been surprised by this more, but I was more surprised at how intrigued I was with the 6-man tag. Mm-hmm. This was really good, though. Nick Aldis did a fantastic job, and I would argue that this might have been someone's favorite match of the night as well. I really enjoyed this one.
I mean, I enjoyed it. It was good. Pretty predictable, but I think that the biggest thing of the night of the match, I should say, was seeing what Nick Aldis, how he would conduct himself, how he would be able to perform after so many years out of the ring. And he really did himself a tremendous service that night. I'm really proud about what he brought forth, what he brought to the table. I'm really, really excited about the fact that he's back as general man, because I think this was a one-off. I think they gave this moment in the sun to him. I think maybe he might even be shutting it down. I know he's only 39. But who knows? Like, I mean, because people are wrestling at 50 in WWE, right? So
he was one of the youngest on the card, Sean.
He was.
I was like, that's us. That would be us, like the young whippersnapper. I'm like, my knees hurt, bro. What you
exactly. I mean, people forget the Usos. Like, they're 40. I mean, CM Punk's 47. Like, what are we talking about, bro? But anyway, I think that was a one-off, and I think he really did his thing.
Yeah. I mean, Gunther put him to sleep just like we expected. Gunther can't lose right now. You cannot afford to book him poorly or have him lose. He needed the win. They got it done. He did go backstage to Triple H with his letter of like resignation. Like, I know what I did and what it took to get that match. So here's my letter of resignation. Triple H was like, you showed me something, kid. Don't worry about it. You've got your job back as the general manager. And I'm just like, yay, another, like, you pretend like this is real and then you waste people's time. This is the stuff I'm talking. It's just the little stuff, bro, that make me so mad sometimes. I'm like,
Triple H is cringe at this point. All he likes to do is hug the women and act like he's bigger than the men.
I think the company sometimes, but yeah, they did fine with this. And I'm not even mad at the logic with all this. It's just, dude, can you guys stick to it for a day? Could you act like, you know, you were gonna, maybe we're looking for a new general manager, but they didn't do that. That's not what happened. And then we get to, let's make this painless as possible, Sean. Fatal Influence versus Nikki, Brie, and Paige. I think even if you wore these spectacles and you don't wear glasses, you saw this finish at the end a mile away. Fatal Influence needed the dub. Nikki and Brie are setting themselves up for the tag titles. Oh, wait, no, they're not, because guess who's hurt now? Brie got hurt in this match. Injured her shoulder, her clavicle. There were many reports going on. I don't know what exactly she hurt. Scapula, maybe, but she's injured in the upper body region here, and she's basically out there, and she's hurt. Trooper for Brie for finishing the match. At the end of the day, Fatal Influence wins. They needed the win, and then they beat up Paige. Surprise, surprise. Paige shouldn't have been with them. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, yeah, beat her up. She was the anti-diva. It never made sense that she was teaming with them. That WrestleMania experiment went on for way too long, and I'm glad it's over. But now Nikki's rolling solo dolo. This Bella's tag team like reign that I keep talking about, it's snake bitten, Sean.
I predicted exactly how this match would go, and I couldn't care less.
There we are. That's it, I guess.
I've never been so disenchanted with being right. I'm talking about. I nailed this match to a T. I said that Fatal Influence would win, and I said after the match that Paige would get turned on. So I'm right, and I could care less. The Bellas and this Paige thing has been just a disaster in my opinion.
Yeah, and hopefully they can, like I said, they're going to have to figure out how to reset course on this. We're probably going to end up getting, I thought it was going to be the Bellas versus, like, you know, Paige would have to look for a friend. AJ comes out, they get to that little program, and then the Bellas go for the tag titles as they set up things and move things around, right? Like maybe they would face Chelsea and Tiffy for the tag titles eventually and win them back. That ain't happening now because Brie's probably going to be out at the earliest 6 months, might even be a year. So we're going to be waiting.
Hopefully forever.
We won't say that.
For both of them. No, I'm saying it because they have no right being in that ring. They have no right being in the Hall of Fame. They have no right being in the ring. they're a disgrace. I am so disgusted by them. I'm telling you, maybe not as much Brie, because Brie is actually a little bit better to me than Nikki. Nikki makes me sick. So I take it back what I said about Brie. Nikki makes me sick. I can't stand them. I think that they're corny. I think that they're overrated. And I think that because they're married, that she was involved with John Cena, and because Brie is married to Daniel Bryan is the only reason why they are where they are. It's complete, total, family-orientated bullcrap. The same thing as Triple H. So maybe that's why Triple H likes him so much. They're all sickening.
For sure. I'm just looking at what people are putting in here. It's a sign the Bellas are not meant to be the champions. Could be.
And you know something that may sound like really jacked up what I just said, but at the end of the day, they're taking an opportunity from somebody else. The Bellas have no right being on a pay-per-view in 2026. They're taking an opportunity from somebody else. That could be Jada Parker. That could be the young lady you were telling me about, the former champion at NXT. Help me out. You gave it to
Kalani Jordan?
That could be Kalani Jordan. These people have an opportunity that is being taken away because the Bellas are for some reason being featured in this ridiculous way. They were on WrestleMania. What did they deserve to be on WrestleMania and SummerSlam? To me, it's just indicative of this whole narrative that this whole false narrative that they've somehow become pioneers of the women's division. They didn't do anything to elevate this division. If people actually put on their thinking caps and remember, they were the reason that Sasha and Becky Lynch and Charlotte were called up from NXT. The Bellas were the problem. Why are we forgetting that? Why are we sitting up here acting like the Bellas were the revolutionaries? The Bellas were the trendsetters. The Bellas were the groundbreakers. They weren't. The Bellas were the perfect picture of the problem that the NXT call-ups were called up to fix. So let's call a spade a spade. They don't deserve half of what they've gotten. I'm not saying they don't work hard in the gym. I'm not saying that they haven't done a good job of getting themselves in physical condition. And I'm not even going to sit up here and say that maybe they don't love professional wrestling. But they are the problem. They were the problem when the NXT call-ups came to Monday Night Raw. They were the problem when Sasha Banks got together with Naomi and Tamina. That entity, Team Bella, along with Alicia Fox, which to this day will still make no sense to me, they were the issue. And they're still the issue. The Bellas do not belong in the current landscape of professional wrestling. Women have come a long way. And damn it, the Bellas are not what it is. The Bellas are divas. They're not wrestlers.
Then he said they took Total Divas to the bank, and I agree. I just think there's a lot of fans of theirs, Sean. Whether we agree, we've been saying it probably since before even this happened. Like, this ain't it.
And chat, tell me I'm wrong.
No, I think everybody's in agreement from what I'm seeing. Minus Rob trolling us over here. How dare you disrespect Hall of Famers? But Rob's messing with us.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's what it is with them.
And another thing, let's think, before we move on, Conrad, because now I'm pissed off. I want to talk about it for a couple more seconds. Think about the women that were left off the show. Think about the women who did not have an opportunity to be on this show because the Bellas are taking up prime real estate on pay-per-views. Can we talk about that? Can we talk about how people were left in catering because the Bellas were being featured on SummerSlam? Because the Bellas were featured on WrestleMania? I mean, what are we talking about right now? Are you serious?
Yeah, it's utilizing your time, and I don't think it was best utilized. This was probably one of my least favorite matches of the weekend, I'll say.
And by the way, and then we can move on. I like Fatal Influence. I think they have potential.
Yeah, Raquel's past, dude. They're going off in the chat. I feel like Brie could be tougher in the ring over Nikki.
Look at this. Look at MJB. Look at M. Leezy listing all these amazing. What are we talking about?
Blake Monroe hasn't even stepped into a ring on our television screens.
All these women, these deserving women. I want to go on record right here on our show, and especially the fact that we air this show on Conrad Cushman's Everything Pro Wrestling channel, so there's no misinterpretation. I love women's wrestling. I support women's wrestling. I supported the revolution or the evolution that took place 10 years ago, and I support it to this day, and I'll support it into the future. I'm telling you that Brie and Nikki Bella, especially Nikki, are prime candidates or prime examples of what we try to get away from. And the idea that those women are in the WWE Hall of Fame. I mean, do I need to continue?
I have a comment, but I'm trying to keep it to myself at this point. We knew Julia
can't crack the curtain on a pay-per-view, and the Bellas are sitting up here having a match at SummerSlam.
We knew who they were related to, is all I'll say. Back in the day,
I don't even like. Thank you, Joe. I don't even like Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace deserves this more than the Bellas do.
She hasn't even been on TV. That's sad.
Everybody knows I love Jada Parker. I'm not trying to be funny about it. Jada Parker is sitting up here facing Natty Neidhart on NXT, and the Bellas are in SummerSlam? What are we talking about? Didn't we just see Kiana James shine in the Elimination Chamber? What's she doing now?
They forgot.
Is she hurt? And I'm not being funny. Is she hurt? Is she injured?
I don't think so.
Then what's going on here?
No words. No words for this and what they were doing. Sean,
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, man. Some things just really rub me the wrong way, man.
Bro, we're about to be on a little stinker train here for a second because I got something else. This one. Sponsored by Street Fighter. And you know, Sean, I would defend CM Punk to the death at one point. Now, not so much. This match was a stinker for an expectation standpoint. At one point, I was so hyped for this, but body language is big to me between these two. They look like they're not invested in it. Watch them. Watch how they're moving. They look like they're not happy.
You gotta break this down, brother.
Yeah. Just go back to their SmackDown promos. Watch their interactions. It's all that buddy, but I can feel when you care about an angle. John Cena, CM Punk, the pipe bomb angle. CM Punk was totally invested in that. CM Punk was not invested in the Kevin Nash Triple H stuff. Despite him going out there and he was being funny and trying to make the best of his moment, that's a different thing. But when you're the champ and you're going into this, they don't like the creative for this or something. Something smells off for this, and it's the whole thing. That's the grace that I'll give them for this. They did come out there. They tried to do a whole Street Fighter.
That was low key. That was dope, though. That was.
Yeah,
the
Street Fighter 2 is my jam, bro. That's one of my favorites.
I'm not gonna cap. That was dope.
Cody came out with the Guile helmet and all that. I saw people putting Reese Cup tops on top of Cody's head and stuff, trying to be funny. That's what they did. But this match, once it got into the ring, it got slow. It got plotty. And we saw, I don't know if the CM stands for crooked moonsault like he said, but don't ever do that again, please. It's over for those. They tried to cover for it. It was just not good. I don't know. CM Punk came out with the Minnesota North Stars, like the old NHL team.
Yeah, the old NHL jacket.
Yeah, that was the reason why he wore those colors. He ain't slick. Some people try to say it was for Cody. I maybe it was a double entendre, and I just wasn't thinking of it because Cody did wear the yellow and green back in the day.
No, you're not wrong. You hit the nail on the head. It was the Minnesota hockey team.
They tried here, and I don't know. Here's the thing. You got to be invested, right, into what's happening next. How does Cody lose this? He eats an RKO from Randy Orton. GG's. Punk doesn't see it. He gets into the ring. GTS. Punk wins. That's fine. That's dandy. I understand why you did that. I don't care about Randy and Cody. You've kind of taken the juice out of it with the Pat McAfee thing. It was there. You had it. I tell people, if I dump this whole cup of water out right now across this table, and I said, Sean, do you think I can put all of this water back in this cup?
The answer would
absolutely not. That's what they did. You had the match, you've blown it in my eyes, and now you're trying to say, like, come back. No, it's going to be good this time. We'll see. I'll hang here. I'm hanging back, but I don't have full faith in it. It's not going to be as full as it once was. My excitement levels for it. And CM Punk said he'll take on anybody. He went on that post-game show. He was kind of talking a little trash. I don't know if this is to lead into a story, but he said, I don't have it in my contract to main event shows. And I thought that was very funny as well, that he brought that up. I don't get to main event these shows just because I want to. It's not written into my contract. I'm here to play ball. He said, I'm not running from anyone. He'll defend the title, yada, yada, yada. Good stuff. This is going to make you question, though, if you waste time with this. I'm kicking it to you because you've called them corny roads. We did not get a turn. They went the safest route you could go with probably not making people super mad. But I thought it was very safe and lame.
I've taken a lot of time about the bloodline. I've taken a lot of time about the women's division. So I'll be brief. It's exactly what I thought it was, and that is not much. I didn't think this match would be much. I told you that I thought there would be no heel turn, and that's exactly what happened because WWE doesn't have the courage to pull the trigger, the figurative trigger. They don't have the courage to do it. He's corny Rhodes because that's exactly what he is. Cody Rhodes has been in his past one of the most charismatic, leveled up performers in the entire industry. He has been relegated to kissing babies, hugging grandmas, and saying whoa. And I don't think and by the way, if anybody is not noticing, he's getting more and more boos every week. Like I said, I've been predicting this for months. Every time he comes out, he's getting more and more boos. I hope somebody besides me notices that. And there's a reason for that. Yes, fans are fickle, in the great words of Bryan Danielson. Fans are fickle, but this is legitimate. Cody Rhodes is showing himself to be a cornball. This QB1 stuff is absolutely ridiculous. Now he's going to be going into a non-title feud with Randy Orton. We'll see how that goes. They're both tremendous in-ring competitors, so the matches have the potential to be good. But as far as storyline is concerned, it's lame. CM Punk to me is lame. Oh, you're calling out people on the post show. I'll take on anybody. Who cares, bro? Who cares? You're just like Cody Rhodes. You're just like Cody Rhodes. You're a sellout. You're a sellout, just like pandering to the fans. When the CM Punk that we loved, that we really loved back in the day, do stuff like this? And I'm not talking about the one that was outwardly heel, like the Straight Edge Society Punk or the Punk that brought in the Shield. No, I'm talking about when CM Punk was probably the hottest babyface in the entire world when he stole the title from John Cena at Money in the Bank. Was CM Punk pandering to the fans? Because that's what he's doing now. That's what he's doing now.
No, I think that they're in this what's the word? They have relied on nostalgia so much. Now, this is a WWE thing as a whole. They've relied on nostalgia so much that you can't escape it now. Like Cody is nostalgia. Punk is nostalgia. Undertaker coming out is nostalgia. Stephanie, Triple H, these people coming out is nostalgia, and they have to have it for every single show. Right. And they're afraid to turn these people, Sean, because guess what? Man, we're going to lose all those T-shirt sales for CM Punk. Man, we can't afford to lose those Cody sales. We need all the money we can get to pay back this TKO debt. I think that is the problem, and that is what's driving some of the decisions. And it's not creative. It's how do we make the most amount of money as we can? And I get it. It's a business. Like don't
think what I'm about to say is me being a homer again. Okay, I think what I said earlier about Jey Uso proves that I'm being realistic here. Why can't we just follow the Jey Uso bandwagon? And what I mean by that is, before people start ripping me up, you can catch lightning in a bottle. Jey Uso, you caught lightning in a bottle. And this is to answer your question about we can't lose the CM Punk sales, we can't lose the Cody Rhodes sales. Just like you did it with Jey Uso, you caught lightning in a bottle. You have opportunities to catch lightning in a bottle again. LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, Chelsea Green. You have people that can make up the difference. Stop holding on to CM Punk and Cody Rhodes and essentially, think about this, Conrad, essentially stopping them from being the best that they can be. How about that? That's the key. We're sitting up here holding on to Cody Rhodes as WWE executives to make sure that we don't lose sales on T-shirts. And ironically, we're stopping them from being the best they can be. CM Punk is a way better heel than he is a babyface. Cody Rhodes, outside of WWE, was a way better heel than babyface. But we're going to be so adamant about pushing this babyface, goo-goo, gaga bullcrap that we're not going to acknowledge the elephant in the room, make the necessary adjustments, and move forward with other people that can pick up the slack. If you put the battery in the back of a Solo Sikoa, if you put the battery in the back of an LA Knight, if you put the battery in the back of Chelsea Green, if you put the battery in the back of Jacob Fatu, you would make up the slack from maybe a little bit of a lack of production in sales by Cody and CM Punk if they turn heel. And by the way, one more thing. If you did turn them heel, maybe fans would like them more. Maybe they would pick up more steam. But we're so adamant about making sure that Cody Rhodes, and I'm not just saying this to be funny, I'm talking about literally kissing babies and hugging grandmas. Every single week. Have we not had enough?
It will not change, brother. I'm telling you. Right now, I feel like there's some kind of fight backstage for, are we going towards the new school or are we riding with them? And I think the rest of the show will show that for what at least is going on and what is happening with this. Because this did not main event. QB1 did not main event night one. Neither did Punk. They were the semi-main. They lost out to Brock Lesnar and Obafemi Hell in a Cell.
And rightfully so, I think. Rightfully so.
I mean, Oba was king of the ring. He was supposed to get this match anyway. You had him look stupid in giving up all of his stuff. You did that. That was your choice. Now, I'm going to say this. I was not the biggest fan of this match. I thought that this Hell in a Cell was good, and it was getting into that next gear, and then the match just ended. And I was like, man, I wish it would have went a little bit longer. I wanted Brock to give something a little different this time, and I thought he would have went longer and been like, okay, come on, I'll give you some time, kid. Mm-hmm. They did what they had to do. It's a Brock match. You know what you're getting out of this. They took more time in between the commercial breaks than this match lasted. Basically, it was their two matches combined at this point. Brock ripped up the ring. It was an homage to his Hell in a Cell matches with The Undertaker. The laughing in the face, the ripping up the ring, the tombstone on the exposed boards, Oba kicking out. They did all that. Oba powerbombed him on the side. Instead of powerbombing him where the exposed wood was, he did it on the mat, and I was just like, all right, maybe that was an error, but I was just like, it's whatever. He gets the win. Sean, the classic, this guy's the future, I'm the past. They cut one of those promos for Oba. Good for Oba. He got the main event. It's time. It's time to push this guy and go forward with it. How fast do they want to do it? I don't know. Are you going to wait until WrestleMania to have this guy go up against Roman? Perhaps. But it's Obafemi's time. He's going to probably be the guy. We at one point thought it was Braun Breaker guaranteed. I'm telling you now, it is Obafemi is their guy right now. He will be the top of the company, is how they're setting this up.
Yes. I like the match, but the reason why it left a little bit of a sour smell in my nostrils is because it didn't need to be a Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, the cell was just there to be there. At that point, it was more of a plunder match than anything else. Like they went in and did it.
But I am happy with the amount of time that the match took. It wasn't a squash match. It wasn't anything like they actually wrestled. I'm fine with that. The cage was inconsequential, right? So that's that. But look, taking away outside the ring stuff, right? Taking away, I'm saying it 3 times, taking away outside the ring stuff, taking away outside the ring stuff, taking away outside the ring stuff. I thought Brock Lesnar did a great job. And I thought Obafemi did a great job. I mean, I have no issue with that performance at SummerSlam. I thought it was fine.
I saw it be good, but I saw the potential for it to be great.
Yes, that's true.
That was my issue with it. Like, yeah.
Right. Okay.
And T-Ferg, 100%. Hell in a Cell, no blood. Like, Punk and Drew did a good job of making that match feel important again, and here we are again with this, and we're like, yeah, okay, cool. You did what you did.
To me, when you talk about Hell in a Cell, to T-Ferg and your point, Conrad, to me, it's like, you don't have to fall off the top of the cage, right? We're not doing that anymore. But you can ram somebody's head into it, can't you? Like, I mean, what are we doing? Like,
make it feel like a cage. Something.
Yeah, that's all.
Something.
But I thought for what the match was, if you take the cage away, I'm like, yo, they did a good job. Because it's just a shame because when the match ended, I was like, what they need the cage for?
I agree with McKinney. It should have been last man standing. If this is what they were going to do, it would have been fine. But I think the cage was there to help sell tickets. Like, ooh, ah.
Yeah.
To increase.
From a visual standpoint, the cell is still a magnificent visual, right?
Mm-hmm.
It just wasn't used in the match.
100%. We'll jump right into night 2. We had 6 more matches. They did some different stuff here, and yeah, this is going to be interesting. Sami Zayn, Finn Balor were set to open up the show. Did it? Nick Aldis comes out. He's back as the general manager, and he was like, wait. Sami, Finn, before this match starts? This match is now changed. We're adding another competitor to the match. And then you hear Gunther's music hits, dun, dun, and Aldis shakes his hand like, I'm going to make it all right with you. We're good. And then before then, he goes, oh, one more thing. I added another competitor to this match. If I'm Sami Zayn, I'm livid, number one, because you lied. See, y'all keep playing with this, man. This is wrong. From a
storyline perspective, they're jerking Sami around, man.
Finn Balor should be mad too. So they added Gunther, and Gunther should be mad too. So you made it sound like you were giving me something, and then they figured in who to add in, and Kevin Owens is back. Good to see Kevin Owens back after over a year injury with that neck injury.
17 months.
Man, he was back, and they put him right in the mix. And I thought that these guys had a pretty decent 4-way match to open up the show. Your thoughts on this, Sean?
I thought it was great. I mean, to me, from a storyline perspective, if I were Finn and Sami, I'd be furious right now. From a non-storyline perspective, I thought it was beautifully done. I mean, I thought it was really, really cool. I think that there's a lot of things that you can take away from this match. Obviously, the biggest thing is Kevin Owens' return after 17 months. God bless him. You can hear in the post show how humbled and amazed he is that he's back, and I am too, man. God bless him. I want to focus more on the aftermath of what we can see moving forward. There's a couple of things we can peel back like an onion.
Let them know who won too.
Of course. After back and forth, a really good match. I thought it was a really good bell-to-bell situation. Kevin Owens did come out victorious. Kevin Owens is the number 1 contender, which I'm really excited about. It kind of puts in perspective what we can see down the line, what we will see down the line, as now he's the undisputed WWE Championship number 1 contender, and we all know who will have that title moving forward. We'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. But, moving forward, I think it opens up a big can of worms, right? We're talking about Finn Balor having, in my opinion, a legitimate beef with Nick Aldis, Sami Zayn having a legitimate beef with Nick Aldis, Gunther having a beef with Nick Aldis, but then again, more so, people having a beef with Nick Aldis because, hey, you just fought this guy the night before, and now you kind of sold out and kissed his butt by putting him in the match. There's a lot of layers that WWE could do to make this thing really, really exciting. I mean, that sounds like a good idea, so you know what that means. They're probably going to act like it never happened, right? But to me, the biggest plot in the story is, hey, Nick Aldis sold out. That's where I would go with it. Nick Aldis sold out. And honestly, I think that if Sami and Finn could probably join forces in their protest.
An old storyline that would have been good would be Sami going around trying to get him removed from his job, having people sign like, I want this guy gone. And all the heels obviously would agree, like, yeah, he's got to go. What he did was wrong.
Absolutely. I think the biggest part of what we can see moving forward. As far as the match itself, all guys did great. Look, when you put in, to me, Sami Zayn is a tremendous wrestler. Kevin Owens, you didn't know how he would do coming back, but he still got it. Finn is just an untapped potential. Even at his advanced age of 40-something, he's still untapped because WWE has not utilized him to the utmost of his ability. And, of course, Gunther is just a top 7 or 8 competitor on the planet. So I mean, it's hard to mess up a match like that. I'm just interested to see how WWE will mess it up starting on Friday. Wait, I'm sorry. Did I say that? I meant to say how they're going to react starting on Friday. No, I said it right the first time.
Yeah, no doubt, man. KO wins the title, and then Sammy cashes in on him after. That could be something that they do. I mean, that'd be tough. That'd be a tough sell, though, too. I guess we'll do the wait and see approach. I am interested in seeing Punk and Kevin. I don't know their mention behind the wearing a T-shirt behind the scenes, but I definitely think that's something where they could lean into it and go back and forth with it. Kevin Owens used to wear a singlet, and then he wanted to start wearing T-shirt and the basketball shorts. And I think Punk, who used to wear the basketball shorts in Ring of Honor, was like, "Nah, I don't really think you should be doing that, and you shouldn't wear a T-shirt when you wrestle. It looks bad." Well, look where Kevin Owens is now, and I think you could play off of that because I don't know if it ever got resolved between them. Sure. It could be their philosophies and all of that moving forward. It should be interesting, like you said, and I think we'll play into the Nick Aldis stuff. U.S. title match, Trick Williams, Baron Corbin. They made this match, and Sean, it was a match. I don't really have a lot to say. Yachty went flying through a table. Trick looked like a star. Baron Corbin uses the title belt as Trick and the ref are distracted, hits the end of days, and Baron Corbin beats Trick Williams. Shocked, to say the least.
All I got to say is it must have been written into Baron Corbin's contract coming back that he'd be United States champion. That's all I got to say. Because that's ridiculous.
No clue. But apparently Baron Corbin was fighting for Carmelo to be added to the match. But they...
so it's not Baron Corbin's fault. That's dope if he was trying to get Carmelo into the match. And it's dope that if he had his lawyer or whoever, I just think in a situation like this, they must have had it written into the contract that he gets a title shot. Otherwise, or a title run, because this makes no sense to me.
That, or they were just trying to get maybe another run for Trick. I can't see Baron Corbin being the champ too long.
Well, we'll see. WWE has a habit of making the right look wrong and the wrong look right. So,
yeah, I was. Were you shocked when you saw that finish? Though?
Of course, I was shocked. I mean, I knew when Lil Yachty went through the table what was going to happen. When he went through the table, I was like, "Oh my God, they're going to switch the title," and that's exactly what happened. I predicted Trick would win. I didn't think there was any question, but I was wrong.
No doubt. Jocelyn, I'm curious which had more talent, Raw or SmackDown on this show. I'm so lost at this point, Jocelyn. I don't even know who's on what show.
You know what's funny? Jocelyn brings up... I think Jocelyn has a really good question, and I think the answer to that question is me giving WWE a rare compliment. A very, very rare compliment. Are you ready? I think they have it split down the middle. I think from a talent perspective, both shows are equally stacked. I think both shows have good guys, meaning good top-tier performers, and both shows have, people who shouldn't even be on my television. That doesn't mean it's a good show, but as far as Jocelyn's question, what show has more talent? I think it's evenly distributed from the little talent they have.
It looks like it. I just tried to do a quick Google search here to see if I could figure out.
I mean, on Raw, you have, the Bloodline, and on obviously that includes Roman Reigns, who's obviously the number one guy in the entire company. You have LA Knight, you have Seth Rollins, right? And then on the other side, you have Cody Rhodes, and you have, I would include Sami Zayn, Trick Williams, right? So, I mean, I think it's evenly distributed. Again, I want to be clear. That doesn't mean it's a good product. But if you really take the guys and girls and split them directly down the middle, like on Raw, you have Becky, even though Becky's not around right now. On SmackDown, you got Charlotte, and, I think it is evenly distributed.
Yeah. Oh, this chat is crushing Baron Corbin here. I like Baron Corbin. I like Baron Corbin more than most when it comes to that.
I like Baron Corbin too, but he's not always booked properly, and that's why he left in the first place.
No. McKinney said Baron needs to shave that belt ASAP. The U.S. title looks horrible. Yeah, if Trick's not holding that, that's one of those belts that it's that don't look right. It's kind of like when Cena had the spinner belt. Anyone else holding it, I'm like, it looked ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the only thing about Trick that I didn't like.
The title?
Yeah, that belt that's terrible.
Yeah. Not everyone needs a custom title is what I say to most of those situations.
By the way, MJP, I don't blame you. We don't know who's on. I guess LA Knight's on Raw for now, but I don't blame you for being confused. I'm confused too.
Same. They don't care, so why should I? That's how I feel. We have the interim women's championship ladder match. We have Charlotte, Lash, Jade Cargill, Chelsea Green, and Tiffany Stratton here. This was a typical ladder match with a lot of spots. I will give it up to Charlotte. I thought Charlotte did do a lot in this match to try to keep it together. I thought Jade and Lash did fine. Like I said, overall, I didn't think that this was horrible. They were just trying to keep it all together for it. I got flashbacks of WrestleMania 32 seeing this, but this was Shawn's moment. Chelsea Green becomes the interim champion. I don't know how this is going to work out. I think if she catches enough fire, you got to let her beat Rhea upon Rhea's return. I know people may not want to hear that. You're going to have to get creative. Whoa, what is that? You have to get creative and find a way to get the title on Chelsea Green if people get behind her. It's going to be interesting. But, Shawn, you've been wanting to talk about Chelsea Green. This is your moment, sir.
Appreciate it, man. Look, I'm not going to go off on too big of a tangent, and I want to kind of give Conrad his flowers. Conrad's kind of being hard on himself that we had conversations behind the scenes. I want to talk about Chelsea Green. He really did not. But it wasn't really about him not wanting to talk about Chelsea Green. I think Conrad, he's right here to defend himself. I think Conrad didn't think there was enough meat on the bone where we would be able to talk about it legitimately because, you know, even though she was getting a little bit of steam, this is WWE, right? So we thought that they would eventually screw it up and Chelsea Green would be pushed to the background like she has for the past couple of years. But I just had noticed, man, chat, appreciate you guys. I just noticed over the past maybe month and a half, 2 months that it really, really started picking up steam. I mean, she's been somewhat popular over the past year even. But over the past couple of months since the summer started, you can really start seeing the fans getting behind her. You can really start seeing the fact that she was actually sticking to her babyface tendencies, helping out Tiffany Stratton, not turning heel, always with the threat of turning back into a heel because that's her natural way. But as she continued to make believers out of us as it relates to, this comedic, babyface character is working. Like, I find myself cheering for this woman, right? I started saying to Conrad, look, like, I think we might be on the verge of, I think we might be on the verge of Chelsea Green having a moment. Like, I think we might be on the verge of seeing something special for this woman, right? And we all know the backstory. Michael PSA is saying she'll never be nothing but an enhancement talent.
She did dedicate the win to him after, too, on the post show.
I love that, by the way. We all respect Michael Hayes for what he's done, but he was dead wrong. And honestly, even if that's what he truly thought, which is fine, he had no right saying such a thing. Like, that's very demeaning and disrespectful to call somebody who's on the main roster an enhancement talent. But I digress. We all saw Unreal last season when she, invited her family and friends to come to the Survivor Series because it was in her hometown, and it turned out she wasn't even on the show. So you start thinking about it, the big bump that she took in Money in the Bank a couple years ago, the pies to the face, the stuff that really, makes you feel sorry for somebody when they're trying. Similar to Sami Zayn with the Jackass stuff. It's like, okay, yeah, this person deserves better. And over the past couple months, Conrad is my witness, I started saying, Chelsea Green looks like she might be turning the corner. So by the time we got to the ladder match at SummerSlam, I picked Tiffany Stratton to win. But, of course, my sentimental pick was Chelsea Green. The reason I did not pick Chelsea Green is because WWE never does things like this. Now, here's the thing, Conrad Cushman. Here's the thing, chat. WWE, Triple H, whoever's the decision makers over there, they had a natural net, figurative net, to play on top of as they walked this tightrope. Shawn, what are you talking about? They pulled the trigger, figuratively, for Chelsea Green to become the world champion. By the way, perfectly wonderful decision. You can see the crowd reacting to her win. But the net, meaning the safe haven, the safety net that was underneath that, is that they pulled the trigger for Chelsea, but it's for the interim championship. So it's like, okay, well, she won the title. It's a feel-good moment. It's deserved. but Rhea's still the real champion. So, my question is, thank you, Emily. I'm glad, and that makes me happy to see that it counts. But the real rubber meeting the road moment now for me, does WWE, does Paul Levesque, does Bruce Pritchard, does whoever have the guts, have the
intestinal fortitude,
right, to have her face Rhea Ripley and win? Because if the pencil is in my hand, again, Conrad, my witness, I said this to him last night. If I'm in charge, when Rhea Ripley comes back and faces Chelsea Green for the undisputed WWE Women's Championship, Chelsea Green would win if I were in charge. That's where I'm at with it. But a feel-good moment. I'm really happy for her. I called it, and I'm so glad I called it, because you can see what, and I always reference Jey Uso, not to bring up Jey Uso, but because when people are on a roll, you have to reward them in this business. You have to.
You got to strike while the iron's hot. I'm a believer in that, because sometimes you can't get that lightning back, or it takes even longer. Not everyone's a Sami Zayn where they can do it 3-4 times, and it keeps happening. You're like, are you going to do it or no? No? Okay. You going to do it now or no? Some people, you only get one shot, and that was their chance, and you missed it. Look at Baron Corbin, Money in the Bank. You missed it.
Yep.
You could have did something there and changed the course of it, but you didn't. I'm happy for Chelsea Green, though. Weird that they're going to count an interim reign like that, but then just strip the belt and then give Rhea a rematch when she gets back. But who knows what's waiting for her? Could be Naomi. Who knows? Lots of interesting things they can do with that moving forward. So looking forward to that. I'm sorry, yo. I can't do this. This is Danhausen versus Dominic Mysterio. Human monies on a pole match. This was Russo-esque, I'll just say. I know what they were doing. They're trying to protect Dominic Mysterio. I think I sent it to you on X. I don't know if you happen to see it. Did you see that Dominic Mysterio thing?
I did.
With him quoting Marshawn Lynch, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah,
rumor has it that someone had a bad attitude out of people who were on the Ascension on the roster. And now this person's kind of being taught a lesson, or they're trying to humble them a little bit. To me, I called it weeks ago and I said, it's Dominic Mysterio. Hasn't been on TV. He didn't bring his AAA title out there. He looks like he's not happy. What happened? What are we doing with me? What's going on with my team? They don't have plans for Dominic. They have plans for Liv.
Biggie Langston did a fantastic job on the pre-show talking about Dominic Mysterio. Biggie Langston made a reference point that last year's WrestleMania, when Dominic Mysterio won the Intercontinental Championship, that Dom Mysterio was on the verge of superstardom, that he was on the verge of possibly being a world champion, possibly on a Hall of Fame trajectory. That Intercontinental Championship win, with him as a pure, unadulterated, disgusting babyface, and all of Las Vegas cheering their guts out for him, including me, that the whole world was thinking this guy is going to be a mega star. Biggie Langston was talking about that. And Biggie Langston also said, but 2026, it's really been disappointing. It's really been disappointing to see what Dominic Mysterio's character has been subjected to. Dominic Mysterio beat John Cena for the Intercontinental Championship in November. But can we just, and now 6 months, 8 months later, he's facing Danhausen and human monies on a pole match? What are we doing? So if Conrad Cushman sending me that tweet that Dominic Mysterio says, I'm just here so I won't get fined, if that's indicative, if that's a microcosm of the fact that Dominic Mysterio is upset, then he has every right to be. I'm upset. I'm upset about what I'm seeing. It's another situation where this guy was as hot as fish grease. This guy was as hot as a bottle rocket in July. This guy was as hot as lava in a stove. And he's now fighting gimmick matches.
And now he's burnt cookies because it's
he's burnt cookies. So I know Conrad's face was super confused. Like Big E Langston made a reference to this, bro.
I didn't see that. See,
yeah,
I'm glad you were watching.
That's why I got you. I always got you. Big E Langston talked about it. He was like, in 2025, there was nobody hotter than Dominic Mysterio. In 2026, I mean, you talk about a fall off, and it's not Dominic's fault. It's how he's being booked.
I'm interested to see how he comes off to the AAA crowd the next time he's there. I haven't watched AAA in a little bit.
But at the end of the day, he's going to lose the title.
And can I ask that? How do you think Undertaker feels about that booking? Like, he just asked me a question. He said, "See, be real. Would you have liked this if it were on Dynamite?" There's a better way to present this that I would have liked it, I think, versus how they did it. We come off of me and Sean talked like right after, and I was like, "Yeah, Sean, I couldn't even tell you to watch that Danhausen Joe Hendry thing. It was so bad. It was so bad." By the way, Fed Radio or WWE Radio, they praised it. Tommy Dreamer praised it. And I was like, bro, all of you guys who are in here, tell your friends, whoever you guys talk wrestling with, support independent like media coverage of wrestling. Support me, Sean. Find your jam.
Jen Carter,
what up, KJ? Support whoever you want, but don't listen to that stuff. It was bad, and it was presented bad. That's the thing with Danhausen. Danhausen can be good at times. This was not one of those moments, though, in my opinion. Because
by the way, check my social media either tonight or tomorrow. I will be rocking the Danhausen t-shirt.
Okay. All right, we're finally getting it.
And I'm not just going to do it on the show. I'm going to do it on social media so it can live forever on the internet, in the Twitter sphere.
Am I wrong, Sean? Like, I think
no, you're not wrong.
If you're not wrong. Dynamite, yeah, like I'm just telling you, like it could have been done better. I didn't like it. You got Joe Hendry. You're rewarding the people who just had a bad performance. Meanwhile, Sean just went through the accolades of Dominic Mysterio. Come on, fam.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, if I were Dom Mysterio, if I were Rey Mysterio, I'd be disgusted right now. Like, what is happening?
El Torito was the star of the match. If you guys didn't know, he was in there. Let that be the only mini housing that he has, or that's the mini housing that's going to do all the moves. I know Brad Williams was there. Shout out to him as one of the mini houses as well. But, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Just be careful with what you're doing with Danhausen because, like, I see McKinney's bringing it up like this is going to jump the shark. Be careful how often you use this guy and be smart. I'm pretty sure he's going to get a tag title reign out of this. I'm fine with that. Like, whatever, if we're going to do that, just do that and get it over with.
So who's going to get a tag title reign?
I think Danhausen is going to get a tag title reign. Him and someone will be, I don't know.
With Joe Hendry?
I don't even know who it is, Sean.
My God, bro.
I'm just saying it could be anybody at this point.
Yeah,
they'll put them together and they're going to do some haha and just get it over with. Y'all were not there for the Nightmare Collective in early AEW. Oh, I was there. That was not good as well. I tried to give it more of a chance though than most when they were doing the hair cutting stuff.
But shout out to the former WWE champion Big E Langston, bro. Shout out to him because like I'm talking Conrad, I'm telling you, bro, he broke it down. It was so uncomfortable, and I mean that in a complimentary way. It was so uncomfortable. I was unsure if WWE gave him the authority to say that. I mean, he really went and he was like, "Yo, Dom was popping in 2025. What happened?"
And I'm sure Dom's wondering the exact same thing. Danhausen got the win. He had the fake money. He started throwing it out to the kids and everybody. They're selling fake money for Danhausen. I wish him nothing but success. Make your money, bro. Well, all I'm saying is the match these two people did not mesh the best together for if we were going to do a match like this. And it felt more like a punishment than we're here to put on a good match, if that means anything.
Yeah, it makes sense to me that it might have been a punishment. Because other than that, this whole storyline has been like weird.
This one is another battle of the baby faces. Chad Gable found his way into Lucha Libre and has stolen his heart. Penta is a big piece of Lucha Libre and the Intercontinental Champion, and they will do battle in a friendly battle for this. Chad Gable.
Before we get into this, Conrad, you gotta laugh. Before we get into this Intercontinental, T. Ferg says at this point, Danhausen's gonna beat Roman Reigns.
Man, don't even say it. Ahead, I can't see that, but yeah, the match here with Penta and Chad Gable was what it was. I was a little left wanting more from it by the end, but Chad Gable ends up getting the win. As soon as he grapevined that leg, I knew it was game over. Penta taps out. Chad Gable gets the title. Penta does the classic babyface. You deserve this, brother. Here's the title. Raise his hand. This is the guy. Enjoy. And he gets to celebrate in front of his audience, his hometown crowd. The family gets in the ring. The kids dressed up like him. And Sean, I see that. Well, it was root beer, right?
Yeah, it was the mug root beer guy. Yep.
The mug root beer. So the way he was on the ropes, Sean, I thought it was Logan Paul. The way he was, and I was like, he's gonna buckshot lariat this dude, and he's gonna hit him with that clothesline. It was not that at all.
Well, that actually would be dope. Yeah.
Right? I was like, yo, that's how you book that. Now you snuck to add in like, oh, Chad, were you expecting this? No, I had no idea that you guys were gonna have this sponsor. I love root beer though, so I'm cool with it. And then you just have boom, Logan Paul takes him out. When I get back, I'm taking that title from you. Blah blah blah. You got a ready-made feud. It didn't have to be Logan Paul. It could have been anyone underneath the costume, and you would have had a feud. And then you still got the add-in. It would have made sense.
That sounds like a good idea, Conrad.
You know what that means? Grapevine. Yep. And then, unless you have anything else you want to add to this, Sean, or I don't have much else to say.
I felt like it took a lot of steam out of the victory, though. Like the mug root beer situation made it kind of weird. Chad Gable deserves it, but I will say this: I will go on the record as saying this. I don't think he's going to have a long title reign. Really? I don't. I love Chad Gable for the hard work he's put in. His moment should have came like 2 years ago. And I say he's not going to have a long title reign, not to be disrespectful, but because I just don't see WWE hitching their wagon to him long term.
Interesting. And what happened to his teammates that he was with?
His teammates? You mean like the Alpha Academy? They're not.
I can't remember who was Alpha Academy. Him and Otis.
Yeah, Otis and Otozawa.
No, I'm talking about the brothers, the Creed brothers.
Oh, the Creed brothers. I don't even know.
American Made, right? Was that their name?
American Made. You're right. I don't even know that.
American Made.
They might turn on him now.
No idea, but I haven't seen them with him.
Ivy Nile, exactly. That's a good point.
I thought, you know what? I think you could put Ivy Nile filling Maxine's role over there in that little feud where they need someone to have their back. Give it to Ivy Nile. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with Chad Gable here. Hopefully he gets to enjoy himself. Enjoy it while you got it, brother.
Resumes matter, and now he has something to put on his resume, and it's well overdue. How long it'll last, time will tell. I don't think it'll last long, not because he doesn't deserve it, but because WWE doesn't have the patience to let it run.
Facts. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins was the main event of night 2. This one, mad Shield lore in this. Like, you had Seth in the background. They did like some, I don't know if it was a hologram or just a picture that looked like it was fire. I liked what they did there. It looked like Seth was in the aisleway with the Shield stuff on. Then he disappears. Flames come up, and then here comes Seth with one of those like outlandish outfits again with the Shield mask. And I was just like, okay, I don't know if this is representing Ultimate Warrior. Like, I couldn't tell what the colors were. I'm like, see Sherbert, Ultimate Warrior. I don't know what this is, but I recognized the mask, and the mask was going to play the role of Dean Ambrose in this. And Roman came out all higgledy-piggledy. I was hoping he came out in the Shield stuff to play mind games with Seth this time, but they didn't do that. People were talking like this was a fantastic match. I think it was good, Sean. I did not bite on any of the like the false finishes. Right, I'm sitting there, I'm just like waiting. I'm like, all right, do the darn thing. Let's get to it. It was a great match, though. Good match, I'll say.
You can call Sean Hubbard a lot of things. You can say that he's an unrealistic fan. You could possibly say he's a homer. But you can never say that he's a liar. As much as WWE gets on my nerves, this was a fantastic main event. It was a fantastic, and not just a fantastic main event. It really was an instant classic. Seth Rollins, who I've always said is underrated, because this whole idea that he's like second fiddle, because the other guy is Hank Aaron doesn't mean that Willie Mays should take a back seat, right? So to me, Seth Rollins is a first ballot Hall of Famer, just like Roman Reigns. And by the way, there's a reason why Seth Rollins always beat Roman Reigns when Roman Reigns was beating everybody else, because Seth Rollins really is on Roman Reigns' level. But at the end of the day, Roman Reigns is probably a little bit better. But, I mean, it could have gone either way. The bottom line is this match was absolutely fantastic. Multiple close finishes, multiple false finishes, shield bombs from both guys, Dean Ambrose references from both guys.
Little rope thing, the double arm DDT. Mox does it for them too. Mox hits curb stomps and he does all that. Like you just pay attention to it and you see it.
Look, not to deviate too much, but we have to understand and remember why Jon Moxley left WWE. I mean, he's getting beat up by Nia Jax. Look, people can say whatever they want to say about Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley leaving WWE. Jon Moxley needed to leave WWE. Jon Moxley was being underappreciated, underutilized, and borderline disrespected. So let's not even talk about that, okay? Jon Moxley had every right to walk away from being completely and totally disrespected in WWE. So that's the bottom line on that, right? Now back to the match. Seth and Roman are the two best wrestlers in the company. That's just it, bro. That's just it. McKinney, appreciate you, man. That's it. I'm tired of this Cody Rhodes narrative. I'm tired of the CM Punk narrative. And I respect CM Punk. And I respected Cody Rhodes. But I'm tired of this narrative that it's Roman and then, is it Roman or CM Punk? Or is it Roman and then Cody Rhodes? No. It's Roman and Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is 1B. And Roman Reigns is 1A. And CM Punk and Cody Rhodes come in after that. And if you didn't know that before last night, you know it now. Seth Rollins is a fantastic, impeccable, undeniable professional wrestler. This kid, he's breathtaking. And he's been that way for years. And he's been better than Roman Reigns at times. He's not better than him in 2026. But Seth Rollins was better than Roman Reigns in 2020 and 2021 and 2022. He was. Seth Rollins is, in my opinion, the second best performer in the entire WWE. Roman Reigns is number one because Roman Reigns at this point is just undeniable. But at the end of the day, this narrative that it's Roman and then Cody or Roman then CM Punk, absolutely not. Seth Rollins is just head and shoulders from a character perspective, from an in-ring perspective. He is outstanding. And last night was just a microcosm of how fantastic they are together and how fantastic they are when they're apart. Because when I think about Roman Reigns and when I think about Seth Rollins as it relates to the WWE landscape, they are the two best that WWE has to offer. And last night was just a perfect example of that. And you compare that match to Cody versus CM Punk the night before, it's not even close.
No, I will totally agree with that those two matches aren't on the same scale right now. I do think Roman has two potential match of the year contenders on the big shows, though. Him and Punk, and then this one. Am I saying they're going to win? I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that he at least stamped himself to be on there. Rob, I love all that Shield lore. Those were my minor complaints with this. Like, if I was deducting points for anything, like in totality of the match, there was way too much Shield lore. And a lot of that, like, standing around and waiting for the spot, like the chair spot. I'm like, bro, if you just don't get up, you can see there's a Tron you're looking at. Like, come on, dude. Like, what are we doing here? And then I'm not going to use the chair. I'm better than this. And they go through it and they were doing their thing. And listen, I argue that the Shield's probably one of the best factions WWE ever created and did. Yes, Four Horsemen don't count, and neither do the NWO. DX is probably right up there. Shield, DX, though, those are the top factions that they've ever created. I thought this was fantastic. They found a way, and also the big dog found a way. He put Seth Rollins down with that spear. Those J's hopefully didn't get creased, and yeah, they found a way to do what they were doing.
I mean, just fantastic. Just fantastic.
Great work by both of them. Sean, do you think we ever see another match with them? I think they're bound to team up now before they ever go at each other again. And I like they did the Shield fist bump at the end, and they had the mask there for representing Ambrose. And I saw a lot of people trying to say Roman took shots at Ambrose. I didn't see it as that way.
No,
I think the shot was at Punk.
Cody and Punk is what I thought.
Yeah. Hold on. Matt said something. I'm just trying to find out where it was. He put, that's why Roman and Seth are on the A show while Corny and Chick Magnet are on the B show. That's fine, Matt. But here's the problem where Corny and Chick Magnet have a point. When Roman disappears and Seth don't have anyone to work with, you can't call them up then, because then they're going to be like, dude, you bother me. You said I'm supposed to be on SmackDown. Leave me over there then.
Right.
And they make those arguments. And I think that's a fair point to them. Like, imagine you have to work 40 hours and the dude who works 20 shows up and he's like, I'm here to save the week, y'all. I got this. And then he leaves before you, gets paid more than you. And you're just like,
There's bound to be some resentment. But at the end of the day, though, doesn't Roman deserve it? Like, I hate when Roman goes away now, right? But at the end of the day, think about this. Roman's been consistent since, in 2026, the whole year.
Yeah, my argument, Sean, is does he need to be the champion, though? Is it fair for him to hold the title hostage?
He does. He's not holding the title hostage. When he's off the scene, he should drop it. But if Roman Reigns is going to be with us throughout the duration of 2026, and the only time he's going to be away is for a couple of weeks at a time, I'm perfectly fine with it. Roman Reigns is that good. Roman Reigns has earned that. This championship reign that Roman Reigns is on right now is not like the Brock Lesnar reign. I am so tired of that comparison. Brock Lesnar is Universal Champion. Brock Lesnar was gone for months at a time. Brock Lesnar was missing pay-per-views. That's not Roman Reigns.
And I think they were still tinkering with that formula, too, because it's been different for each guy. Like, The Rock's formula was different in 2002 than it was in 2004. The formula changed each time. Then Rock in when did they have that match? 2011, right? Him and Cena. Mm-hmm. The formula's different again. And now it's kind of been consistent. Then Brock went away, and Brock's completely a different animal. He was like, well, I'm doing UFC too. Okay. We got to figure out how to make that work too. They are giving into these guys, and maybe the championship reigns are part of that, but that gives them even more leverage with the title. You see, I'm talking outside of wrestling, the stories and everything. I'm talking business to you guys. That's what they're trying to hang on to for this. It just depends. Like I said, I could see being disgruntled too, though. If you give me half the stuff you give this guy, I could have done some of this too. And there are plenty of people from 2010 era to now that we could look at. Alex Riley. You could look at Punk. You could look at so many people. It's like, yeah, maybe if you gave them a little bit more, things would be different. But Here we are, and this is what we're dealing with right now. Roman has delivered. I think he's only got a couple shows in between now and the next pay-per-view is not until October, that Money in the Bank show.
Yeah, he's going to be extended because he did say he's going to be here through the summer. Now, the fact that he said he's going to be here through the summer and then he retained the title at SummerSlam. Yeah, he retained the title at SummerSlam. Now we're talking about, okay, well, now we're going to test the waters here. Now it looks like he's going to be here maybe 3 or 4 times between now and October. Now we're going to see, okay, can the brand continue to thrive? What are the Usos going to do? How's the bloodline going to be represented?
Hey, Punk, Cody, you busy? That. It's going to be where they're going to look and be like, I'm annoyed.
Right.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what they end up doing here. But overall, Sean, I would give this a B to a B minus show. I thought I'm
going to say B minus. For the weekend. I thought the weekend is a B minus, but I will say this though: I think it's very strategic and very poignant to know that WWE did not announce the attendance for either night.
And I saw arguments about that on social media. I usually don't get too deep into this, but I saw arguments because there's another show coming up that's probably going to beat them for the single night. That someone was like, well, you got to add them both up. And I'm like, what math are we doing? If we're talking about McDonald's and Burger King, are we saying like, well, let's talk about my sales from the weekend and your sales from the one day? What are we doing here?
That's a good
like,
point.
what are we comparing? Make sure it's apples to apples and not apples to oranges. I'm done. I'm leaving that alone. Now, before we get into Dark Side of the Ring and some other stuff, I'm not reading all this, by the way. Too long, didn't read. We're going to summarize these Triple H quotes from over the weekend. Triple H was asked about comments that Damian Priest recently made about the same talent being in top spots. Damian Priest sounds like he was frustrated. You all know how I felt about Damian Priest being in the top spot. And he's basically saying, okay, well, are you better than, as you can see in the, what paragraph is this? The fifth, third, fourth, fifth right here. Are you better? Are you more over than Cody? More over than Roman? Are you more over than Punk? Are you more over than Liv? EO? Why should you get that spot? And he basically puts it on the talent. And I think that this is such a crappy thing to do to the talent too. They do things. They go to the gym. They work out. They learn their parts. You guys write them. Here's my issue, Sean, and we have homies that we talk about wrestling with. They claim that they can make anyone a star, and they can do this with anyone. Show me.
That's it.
Tell me these guys aren't putting the effort in. I talked about Punk's moonsault earlier a little bit. Some people said it was an homage to Terry Funk. Either way, it was dangerous, and I don't want Punk doing that move anymore. It just didn't look good. It didn't pan out right. I think they should avoid doing that. But what I'm saying here is you can't put it all on them. They're doing the work. They're doing the best that they can. And there's going to be people who don't get the world title. Listen, I'm a huge Zack Ryder fan. I never said Zack Ryder should be the world champion. I was just advocating, get the guy on the show. Let him be the mid-card champion. He's proven it. Fans are behind this guy. They don't do that.
If I'm booking you, if I'm in charge of predetermining a race, let's say the Olympic 100-meter dash is a scripted event, and I script you to walk the 100 meters, and I script, because you pulled them up, M. Leezy to run the 100 meters. Is it your fault that M. Leezy won the race?
No. And I think they're used to people blaming the talent for it, and they fall for this. This is bad.
Conrad lost the 100-meter dash to M. Leezy. Conrad sucks. Wait a minute. But Conrad was instructed to walk, and M. Leezy was instructed to run. That's the reason why Conrad lost the race.
I know if I wasn't a top talent, I'd get fired because he's dangling a carrot.
Triple H is not good at his job, bro. I'm sick and tired of. Why are we dancing? Go ahead, Conrad. Because we dance around this crap all the time.
He dangles a carrot in front of people that are in the mid card, like keep working harder, get better, work harder. No, because you're not going to do it. So let's look at Obafemi, Sean. Was Obafemi not pegged for that spot that he's in? They knew what they wanted to give him. They knew that. It was GG's. Like they knew, and that's what happened. They didn't do that for Julia. You don't know what you're doing with some of these people. Where's Blake Monroe? Like I said, we can sit here all day and go over it and argue these things. I just think Triple H came off very weak. And then he talked about how he wishes fans would put their passion into WWE as opposed, or into the talent, as opposed to blaming the writing. You wish it was more kayfabe. You have a show called WWE Unreal.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Yo, and this busted open, it says it's an interview. It really wasn't. It was more like Triple H speaks, and this is their platform to talk on now. Dave LaGreca and them, I'm sorry, I don't really care. When I see this now, I know that I have a different thought process when I read these from now on, and you should too moving forward.
To piggyback off of Conrad's point before Conrad finishes up, keep going, Conrad. To piggyback off Conrad's point, on the last season of Unreal, we saw backstage LA Knight looking dejected, absolutely dejected with the direction of his character. And we're not supposed to be invested in that? It's your show. It's your show. You're showing us backstage LA Knight looking like he's about to cry. How's that on us?
I'm telling you, and listen, I listen to Sean review it for me so that I know what's happening on there. I don't check out Hubbonomics on Thursdays, but being dead serious, like Triple H, you cannot blame other people for. When is it your fault, bro? That's what I'm waiting to hear. When is it? When do you say, you know what? That's on me. I'll take accountability for not pushing Chelsea Green. You know what? That's on me for making this decision or that decision. It doesn't happen enough. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Buzz off though. I'm over this. Like, it's what it is. It's what it is. I'm gonna run through these AEW ones pretty quickly here, just for the record. And and you know what? Before I leave out too, shout out to Haku. Getting to appear on SmackDown and getting the Tongans back together and just trying to let them know, like trying to make them, I don't know, the faces of fear, doing all that again. I just wanted to point that out, that if you don't watch SmackDown, Haku did appear.
That's what's up.
Going back to this, Adam Copeland put this on Instagram today of venues he'd like to wrestle and opponents. I see one there that looks like Omega, so keep that up. And then Jericho wrote, beautiful penmanship, sir. Mm-hmm. And it looks like he's winding down, though. He's got his little list of things he wants to do before he's done. So good for him. Just things to keep an eye out for. I don't know if you have any comment to that.
Oh, look, I mean, this is a farewell tour, and he's doing a wonderful job.
Not mad at it. Continental Cup announced summertime single elimination tournament. I believe they're announcing the rest of the competitors tonight. That should be interesting. And then the finals will be at All In, and then that's how they determine who wins the cup, the belt, challenges Moxley for the title. Adding some pomp and circumstance to this.
I like it.
Also, Sean, we called this. We were live when it happened on Sean's channel. My fault, of course, when that happened. But the Motor City Machine Guns are all elite.
Motor City.
They did talk that we're home now, and I'm just like, yeah, all right, guys, let's go. Yeah. Listen, they made a choice. They got to appear on WrestleMania. It didn't work out. They were like, okay, we've lost jobs at many other places. Have a good day. Yep, and they just kept it moving. Good for them. And we do have a big Grand Slam Mexico show that me and Derek are going to review on Wednesday. Hopefully you guys will be there. Last year, it was probably one of my favorite Dynamite episodes. Let's see if they can do it again. Sean, from here, real quick, I just want to talk a little Bossman if you got time.
If you ever take a trip down to Cobb County, Georgia, you better get down and get to Long Island serving hard
time. Growing up as a kid, man, I don't have a lot of things to say bad about Ray Traylor. Like we can get into it. The Big Boss Man was one of the characters you could easily relate to as a kid. This guy works in a prison. He beats people up. He's a bad hombre. Mm-hmm. I did not see his Jim Crockett promotion stuff until later. They went through all that stuff. Cornette dropping. Big Bubba Rogers, the security guard for Jim Cornette. Mama Cornette hired him, and you know how it went. The Midnight Express, he was there helping, and he would wrestle matches. Good old Ray Traylor. Boss Man got upset with a payday, said, man, I didn't really get a lot of money here, man. What's up with that? And they're like, yeah, you know, it is what it is, baby. Money's tight. Bossman said, the WWF looks tighter, so I'm over here now. Yeah. Told Vince he was a former corrections officer. That job didn't pay enough, and that's why he's in wrestling. We got ourselves a gimmick, pal. You got someone who could just beat people up and take advantage of the law, and then you can make him a babyface and sell the little foam nightsticks and the action figures. I had Boss Man action figures. I was a fan. I had friends who had the Boss Man wrestling buddy. He was a merch seller, man. Nice. I don't know. Did you have any feelings for Boss Man?
I mean, look. For me, dude was really good. And I have so much respect for his legacy. I really appreciate his early work, you know, in the 90s, late 80s with WWE. I mean, I think I'm in the minority because people kind of think about it as a comedic thing. But I think his work with Akeem and Slick was outstanding. I thought they should have been the World Tag Team Champions.
They beat the Rockers, man. I wanted to cry when I was a kid. Yeah, I was like, not Sean and Marty.
I think they should have been the World Tag Team Champions. I think you could have easily seen them.
In the Mega Powers for the tag titles, it was right there for you. It was right there.
Conrad, I've always said that the Mega Powers, and I'm not going to go off on a tangent. This is about the Boss Man. I've always said that the Mega Powers should have been the World Tag Team Champions. You should have had the Twin Towers defeat Demolition. And then you could have had the Mega Powers beat the Twin Towers. And then after they explode for the title, they could have forfeited the titles. But my point is this.
I think back then, whoever was booking, I think it was Pritchard and Patterson, right? Mainly with Vince. I think they thought probably you're working with Hogan, you're making a lot of money. Let Demolition have the tag titles. Like, I think that was the logic.
What wasn't the worst thing in the world? I'm just trying to say the Twin Towers. The Twin Towers. I want you guys to do your homework. I want you guys to do your homework, chat. Look at the Twin Towers work. Look at who they worked with. The Twin Towers were amazing. They were charismatic. They were funny. They were athletic. The two of the best big men in the game. The one-man gang transforming into the African Dream Akeem, teaming up with the Big Boss Man. I mean, I thought they broke up the team way too soon, right? But anyway, the Big Boss Man had some of the most influential moments of our childhoods. We're talking about a man in an orange jumpsuit coming through the crowd to attack the Boss Man, who allegedly treated him poorly while he was a correction officer, and and it's on YouTube, one of the worst beatdowns I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, kids were scared.
You cannot tell me, no, but here's the thing for me, brother. You cannot tell me that some of those blows were not real. Bossman took his lumps. When Nails, for the people who don't know what I'm talking about, when Nails came through the crowd in 1992 on WWE Superstars, jumped over the rail, he beat Ray Traylor like he stole something.
Oh yeah, Ray Traylor had to get the heat for that.
It was bad. It was bad. But then again, it was bad because it was good. It was good. It was really, really good. I thought really interesting, and I like your comments on this, Conrad. I thought it was really interesting that perhaps the Bossman's second run in WWE would have been better had he not made a mistake at the Survivor Series.
Yes, I was going to get into that. I wanted to get WCW thoughts from you real quick, too.
Sure.
And it's a key point. Any memories from WCW with him? Love Big Bubba Rogers. One of my favorite things is it's probably all stupid stuff. He's got a tricycle. Is one of my favorite things where he's choking out JL, Jerry Lynn, with a tricycle. I don't know who brought their bike to the Saturday night studio that night, but he grabbed the bike and started choking him with it. And I was like, what a fool, man. Funny stuff. And you can't really choke someone with a bike. Like, it looked ridiculous, but it was hilarious. And they went and did that. Big Bubba Rogers was in the NWO. He was out the NWO. It didn't matter. Like, he didn't do much there. He was the Guardian Angel. He faced Vader and had some good matches. Like, they pushed him, then they didn't. They didn't know what they wanted to do with him. They even tried to have him and Hogan on the first Nitro. Relive that Boss Man Hogan magic. The suplex off the cage made them a lot of money in the 80s, and they tried to capture that thunder again. But his family said that was the best time because he was home more.
That's right.
And sometimes we don't understand, like, why are you in AEW? Why are you going to TNA? You could be in WWE. But look at his family said, I remembered him most when he was home more, when he was working WCW. So that was a good thing.
To your point, Conrad Cushman, to your point, most of the alluring factor of WCW contracts was the chance to be home. Now, the money was good. But in a lot of situations, the Scott Halls, the Kevin Nashes, the X-Pacs, the whoever's, a lot of what I've done and you've done, a lot of those contracts were not more money, maybe a little bit more money, but you're only working half the time.
Right. That's a dub.
Yeah.
That's a big dub. And then we talk about the second half of his career where he came back. I remember the reveal that he was Vince McMahon's new bodyguard, the Big Boss Man, and he put a beating on Stone Cold. I believe it was Stone Cold and Rock versus Kane and Undertaker that night. And Boss Man came out, put the beating, and took the ski mask off, and it was him. And Boss Man probably would have got one of those beat show like title shots. Am I saying Boss Man was ever going to be WWF champion? I mean, he was in the same realm as Bulldog when he came back with the jeans. Could you have done it? Maybe. But you could have, but you decided not to, and that's fine. But maybe one of those pay-per-views where it's Undertaker and Austin, maybe it said it would have been Boss Man in the spot, right? I think that's a fair thing to say. And he screwed up once. Here's my question. Why was Vince Russo close enough to yell to Boss Man, you missed your spot? You weren't calling him saying, get ready for your spot, bro. Get ready for your spot. You let him engage in a conversation with the Undertaker, and what a mess.
Let me take your accurate point, Conrad Cushman, to an even higher level. Not only did he have time to let him know he missed his spot, but according to the way it was described on Dark Side of the Ring, follow me on this. Bossman was supposed to be with the McMahons, Briscoe and Patterson while they went to the ring. The spot, now follow me on this, Conrad. The spot for Bossman to hit Stone Cold with the chair at the Survivor Series came 10 minutes later. So while Vince and Shane and Briscoe and Patterson are rolling to the ring, and you look to your left as Vince Russo and see the Bossman talking to the Undertaker, even then, yo, Ray, get to the ring. You're gonna miss your spot if you don't go. What are you talking about?
Especially with those one-night tournaments like WrestleMania 4, you have X amount of time. You're very limited in how often you're going to be able to move and get down there. It sounds like Austin cussed him out. It cost Bossman probably a big payday. Sucks because Bossman was a heck of a talent. I thought he misses out, but he did have a great run. He had brought up that it was crazy. I did like Bossman 99 though, the run with Pepper. He did get his world title match against Big Show eventually, while Big Show was the WWF champion. The stuff with Big Show and his daddy, if you've never seen it, you got to watch it. I can't even repeat some of the stuff Bossman was saying back then because it was bad.
He was a double champion. He was the hardcore and tag team champion at the same time.
Yes.
So he was Bossman 2 belts.
Yeah. How do you like Pepper beating up Al Snow in a hotel room and shoving his face into food that's sitting on the bed is disgusting, absolutely disgusting. But they made it work to the best of their abilities. Good times, man. Like I said, in the Attitude Era, when I would go to shows, Bossman was on those shows sometimes in the hardcore match, and it was just like, all right, let's see what they do.
He and Bull Buchanan were successful at WrestleMania 2000.
Yes, former tag team, and he came back in 2002 with Booker T to be Booker T's enforcement for a little bit there. And then Bossman was gone again, and then unfortunately Bossman passed away a year or two later, as he seemed like he was starting to finally just get out of the ring possibly and figure out what he was going to do in life. And that was a sad story with his daughters as well, and that's where it truly becomes Dark Side of the Ring. And when you guys are watching these on Vice. But RIP to Ray Traylor, the Big Boss Man. You saw Cornette was really torn up about it. He used to work with him, so he was like, excuse me for a second. You can see sometimes when guys start getting the tears in their eyes, they're like, excuse me for a second. He had to walk away because he didn't want to turn into a crying mess, tears all over the place, just thinking about his friend, you know?
And I'm going to give you one of my lines, one of my more emotional lines, which is, I'm not going to preach to you guys, but, you know, me and Conrad are quickly approaching the plateau that Bossman was at when he passed away. Bossman was 41.
Yeah.
41. I say that to say this, like, let's continue praying. Let's continue asking the man above for his grace and mercy, because tomorrow truly isn't promised, man. I mean, Bossman was a young man. So, you know, let's just, let's pray for each other and rest in peace to Ray Traylor, man.
I kept Sean overtime. The next week will be about the Renegade in WCW, which is probably an interesting story because I don't know every single thing about this. So I'll be interested in hearing about that one. We got Raw happening probably right now as we speak. So I'm going to let Sean take us out, and we will end this up, man, so that we can get on out of here. Thank you for staying overtime with us, though, if you guys made it all the way through.
No, I appreciate it. Also, I want to take a little bit more time to talk about, you can leave the promo stuff up, Conrad. I won't be too long. But just as we get ready to sign off, man, again, not going to preach to you guys, but like moments like this, talking about Ray Traylor, we had a very emotional, send-off for Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt a couple years ago. And, every time one of our legends leaves us, it's something to think about. Let's continue to love each other, man. Pray for each other. Be an encouragement to each other. Call somebody that you love, man. Call somebody that you love and tell them you love them. Send somebody a text. It doesn't take much. A text, a DM, a phone call. Just continue to reach out to your loved ones. Send your friends a joke. send your mom a heart emoji, do whatever you have to do to just remind the people that you love them, because tomorrow truly isn't promised. Every day that we have on this earth, obviously I've been very outward about the fact that I'm a Christian, but whoever it is you serve, the big man upstairs, every day is a gift, man. And we have to just continue to be prayerful. And that's some shout out to MJB. God bless, man. You said almost, so I'm hoping that means they're going to be okay. Almost is the key word. I pray that everything's all right. That's what I'm talking about. So MJB, we'll be praying for you. But to just put a bow on this, just continue to pray, continue to be of good cheer, and tell the people that you love them, because tomorrow truly isn't promised. Every single day is a gift, man. So with that being said, on behalf of my friend Conrad Cushman, my name is Sean Hubbard. We look forward to seeing you guys next week. Obviously, AEW review on Wednesdays with Conrad and my guy Derek. Hubbernomics on Thursday, the best Canadian wrestler ever. We're going to talk about that. A lot of good stuff on the horizon, but I think we want to end this show talking about real life, and just to say, love each other, man. Love each other. Be good to each other, because life is short, and we need to cherish every single day. So with that being said, God bless, be encouraged, and evil never prevails. Until next time, you already know what it is, man. Peace.